Hi, my name is Nicole Blackwell, and I'm here to talk about evaluating the impact of technology on organizations. Specifically, the organization I chose was Alliance Data. I have been employed with Alliance Data for the last 3 years, and I really wanted to kind of focus on how technology impacts organizations in this way, especially with the COVID-19 pandemic and all that's going on. I do believe that this company has had an amazing response to the pandemic, in part because it started preparing for having a remote workforce last year in efforts to save money, and a lot of kind of devastating things happened that kind of hit the company very hard. So, in preparation for having a larger remote workforce and cutting down on overhead, there were a lot of kind of provisions made to update the systems and have things available for people to be able to work remotely. So when this pandemic happened and everyone had to go home in a rush, the organization was more prepared. So I think that that really speaks highly to how technology really impacts the organization. So for this assessment, I decided to focus on the performance measurements using the balanced scorecard model. And the idea behind the balanced scorecard model is to approach and be able to anticipate the organization's needs. And that's really helpful, especially in a situation like we're in now, like understanding how important it is to be able to anticipate what's coming. And I think that this company is in a really good place now with the new CEO. Ralph Andretta has just come in really a month before the pandemic happened. He joined, but he came in with a plan to really focus on being prepared and evaluating the performance and seeing what needs to be done to sustain and also grow, but grow in a way that is predictable and sustainable rather than grow really fast and then have to kind of stumble to get back on your feet, which is kind of what has been happening to the organization since before he came in. So the main things to focus on for the balanced scorecard model is breaking it down into the components that are needed to really focus on that performance. So the governance, the client, internal processes, and then innovation and learning were the four breakdowns. Traditionally, instead of governance, it focuses on finances, but I think that it's important to not focus on the financial aspects because I feel like in this case, the financial aspect was a little misleading as the company was doing really well financially, but it wasn't a sustainable growth. So focusing on the governance and how the organization actually works and really getting people to understand what the business needs are, what the metrics are, and how to really connect to the organization. Same thing with the client, really focusing on getting to know what the client's needs are and who we're serving and why we're servicing them and what we can anticipate in the future. The internal processes, the inner workings of kind of how the business works and what goes with what and what's kind of expected and what's needed. I think all of those kind of align together, but they each have their own little kind of niche. And then, of course, innovation and learning. Innovation is so important, and really understanding the concepts behind the organization, different functions, and really getting involved and getting to know different aspects. If, down the line, the company needs more people in one area or they need more focus on one thing, really having that understanding really helps to evaluate the performance of how people are doing and how the organization is doing and how sustainable the organization is in each area. So evaluating those four perspectives really will help provide some insight into what needs to be done and what will help the company be sustainable in the future. So that's my presentation. I do hope you enjoyed and have a great rest of your day.